Barbarian is a movie about a woman showing up to an Airbnb she booked and finding someone else is already staying there, which sounds terrifying enough on its own, but somehow things even get worse. Here to tell us all about it, and what's potentially in the basement, is the star of the film, Justin Long. Hey.
How are you? Yes. Well, here to tell you as much as I can about it.
Yeah. So
which is not a lot.
I am in an interesting position here because you are in this trailer for like a few frames.
Yeah.
And so I know you know secrets. You know more than anyone who's seen it and anyone who's potentially in this house.
Right.
But I don't know how much you can tell me.
That's the problem. And the problem is, I don't know why they gave me this job, because I have a big mouth.
Yeah.
So I was told, don't say much.
Right.
But here's a microphone.
Okay.
And talk as much as you can about it. I have a big mouth, and I want to talk because I love the movie, and,
okay.
I'm so grateful to be in it. And I'm like a fan. This, I hope doesn't sound arrogant. I'm a fan of the movie. I think what Zach made is like, because I love horror, and it's a great classic, fun horror movie, and I want to talk about it. I just can't.
Okay,
Sorry.
so I guess
I'll see you later.
Yeah, that was very nice.
Okay.
And back to you in the studio.
Yes.
No, so like I'm a gigantic horror fan.
Yeah.
So the second I saw this trailer, I was like, I'm completely in.
Yeah.
What got you into this? Like, what made you go, that's for me. I got to be in this movie.
The script was just so good. I know that's a boring answer, but I was reading the script. I was on a cross-country trip, so I was living in this van that had been converted to an RV, and I was in an RV park, kind of like it looked like the location for a horror movie in the bayou in Louisiana.
Right.
And so I started reading it, and I swear this never happened to me before. I've heard actors say it, and I don't really believe them. It was so scary that I was afraid I would I had to put it down.
Oh my God!
Because it was dark out, and I was a 43-year-old man, thought he would have nightmares. And but I was so intrigued. I was so like I was so engaged with the story, and it was just such a great script. And Zach, I knew a little bit only from his work as his comedic work.
Right.
I knew how funny he was, and I was so surprised that something so dark came from that mind.
Yeah, and I mean, I was going to ask you about that because like he co-created The Whitest Kids You Know, like one of the best sketch comedy troupes ever.
Yes.
Your careers had like a really kind of awesome overlap of like comedy and horror. You've bounced back between.
Yeah.
The ending of Tusk has been seared into my brain forever. It's just like one of those things that will randomly pop up.
This isn't helping, probably. My mustache.
It's all coming back.
I saw Kevin Smith a couple of minutes ago, and he was like, "Sir, the mustache. Nothing good ever happens to you when you have a mustache in a movie."
He's like, "We got to check back in on that animal that we left."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tusk 2.
Yeah.
Remind me.
Yeah, he's still in the pool, just eating.
It's a boring. The second one's gonna be boring.
You're not moving around a lot. You're just like.
He'd have to become a human now, so I don't know how it would work.
Oh yeah, he'd have to go back.
Yeah.
That actually sounds scarier than on the way.
Yes, maybe.
All right, Tusk 2, reverse Tusk.
Yeah, it's half walrus, half human. That was kind of the last horror I did. So it's been a little while. It's not like I seek them out, or I don't seek them. I just try to look for good scripts, and this was one of the best I had ever read, and I was so lucky then that Zach. I knew it had been written by somebody that knew horror, that was very smart with how to make horror, and he didn't disappoint. He made a really beautiful movie, I think.
Now you mentioned just living in a trailer. You travel a lot.
Yeah.
Do you go to Airbnbs?
Oh yeah.
Do you have a protocol?
I love Airbnb.
Do you look for cameras and stuff like that, like when you walk in, or do you like I trust this place?
Occasionally, I do look for in the vents of.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding. I've looked for, not to say that they would get great footage from me. But I don't know who. But there are some, there's some weird people out there.
I mean, whatever someone thinks is great footage is really up to the weirdo.
Exactly.
Right?
I don't want to judge.
Yeah.
But yeah,
your boring footage could be great footage. I mean, you never know.
Me clipping my toenails.
That's a thing for somebody.
Over a toilet bowl. But somebody might be into that. We don't judge here on IGN.
No, we do not. We do not. If you want to clip your toilet bowl, finger, feet, go for it.
Yeah, and if you get off on that.
Just consent. That's a fetish of yours. Ask first.
Yes, ask to watch someone clip. Okay.
How do we get there?
I don't know. We're somewhere.
How do we get
deep.
out?
I don't know.
We got.
I think we might have just a non sequitur, maybe.
Yes. This went in wonderful places.
The other day, I was doing an interview just now, and I said whale's vagina. Whenever I'm in San Diego,
I cannot not think of that.
Well, me too. But unfortunately, the person I was talking to had no idea what I was talking about. And she looked at me politely, and she was like, "Oh yes,
right."
And I realized she doesn't know she doesn't know the Anchorman reference, and I immediately felt obviously.
Anchorman is like a vintage film now. That's how old we are.
I know, but in her defense, I kind of just said it. She had mentioned, she's like, so San Diego, and I said, yes, whale's vagina, and like that's the proper term. And she looked at me as she should, like I had 3 heads. Which is not a weird thing here at Comic-Con.
Actually, 3 heads would be more normal
the norm.
here than you saying whale's vagina randomly.
Yeah, look at that guy. He only has 1 head. What a weird thing to see at Comic-Con.
Yeah, that's fine. That's normal. So you check into the Airbnbs. They're a little creepy. You're looking around.
Yeah.
What is this, like, outside of the set of this film, what is the scariest place you've ever spent the night? Did you ever have a place that, like, because I stayed in a hotel in Florida once where I was like, the only Yelp photo was like piss in a toilet.
What?
And I was like, this is going to be a bad night.
Why did you stay there?
Well, they booked me there.
And why did they show the piss in the toilet?
That was the only, like, the first. I don't know who picks the first picture on Yelp, but that was the one.
Were they proud of the toilet bowl itself, or
no. It was like I almost said a fan. Like, it was a user submitted toilet photo.
Oh, I see.
The hotel wasn't like, this is it. This is our.
It wasn't a good thing. It wasn't a. They weren't selling it.
They weren't proud of the piss in the toilet.
Okay, they weren't like, and we have toilets with urine in them.
Our toilets have urine already. You don't.
Yes,
even
you don't have to add the urine. It comes pre-urinated in.
That is free of charge. We took that. That's on the house.
Yeah, that's a red flag. A yellow flag.
A yellow flag. Yeah. So what is this? What is the scariest place you've ever spent the night?
God, I've stayed at a lot. I mean, when I was younger, I used to drive for this a wealthy man. I would drive his Miatas back and forth from his vacation home to Connecticut, and
that was a job.
Yeah, and he'd give me enough money for gas and a little bit extra, and so but I had so little. But he didn't give me enough to stay at like fancy place. So I'd stay at the cheapest motel I could find, and so. I'm no stranger to some rough lodgings, but I'm trying to think that the creepiest place I've stayed at the Hotel Congress in Tucson, Arizona.
Oh man,
really
we're name dropping.
Yeah,
straight up.
Yeah, Tucson.
Yeah, take that, Hotel Congress in Tucson,
that,
Arizona.
Phoenix. Yeah, Tucson was
Suck
where
it.
it's at.
Whale's vagina.
Yeah, well. And you just said the sentence,
I did.
Suck it, whale's vagina.
Oh, I did.
Yep. Man, that was captured.
This is your fault, though. You
TV.
did that to me.
Yeah, it's Hotel Congress. It's haunted, Hotel Congress.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
It's John Dillinger. It's where they smoked out John Dillinger. It's a really cool story.
Yes.
I love haunted ghost stories and stuff, haunted hotels and stuff. Yeah. So, and there's some here, I guess.
In
Coronado, the Hotel Coronado, apparently, there's a ghost named Kate Morgan. She has a they know who it is.
Oh,
or they
she has
think
a
they know
full
who it is.
name.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and something awful happened. Anyway, some creepy stuff here. Some great history in San Diego.
Poor woman. I hope she gets her revenge on unsuspecting people forever.
Well, see, we dug out of the other hole, but now we're in another weird, dark place.
We have climbed into another Wales that I'm not going to say.
Anyway, where are we now?
Where were we?
We're in Wales. We were somewhere in Wales vagina.
Somewhere in the Wales vagina.
Yes.
Justin,
on our way out. We're crawling out of the Wales vagina.
We have crawled out of the Wales vagina. Justin, thank you so much. You can catch Barbarian in theaters on September 9th, and you can catch more Comic-Con coverage right here, right now on IGN. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, guys.
From beautiful San Diego. And Tusk 2, Reverse Tusk.
Yes.
Coming to theaters, hopefully.
Probably never.
Never.
Yeah.
It's never good.